I have come to realize that treating people equally is impossible. And the reason I say that is because I have a decent number of friends, and I have realized somewhat late, I would say, that the vibe I get from one of my friends compared to the vibe that I get with another one of my friends is completely different. And because of that difference, I kind of have to adjust, willingly, of course, my choice of words as well as my actions physically in order to make the interaction with a specific friend in order to keep our interaction with each other engaging the whole time, if that makes sense. Now, the relationship that I have with all of my friends have grown throughout the years. So it's not like these are friends I've only been friends with for a couple of months. I've actually had these friends for many years now. And by many years, I'm talking about like almost more than 10 years. And I just find it so interesting how, like, for example, a joke that I would make within a specific friend group is more impactful with that friend group versus another friend group that I have in another state, let's just say. And I've always wondered, why is it that that same joke isn't as impactful with my other group of friends compared to this one? And the simple answer is just that everybody's unique. You know, maybe everybody does think the joke is funny. It's just that the reaction that I get isn't always going to be equally the same with all of my friends, and that's totally fine. I just find it somewhat interestingly funny that I had this expectation of everybody reacting the same exact way. Even funnier is that if they did react the same way, it's kind of like me being friends with the same kind or same type of person, which would be really awkward and sort of make the existing group dynamic more odd. Another thing I've also realized when it comes to treating people equally is that the same thing applies if I'm like trying to comfort someone that's sad or anything along those lines of me having to act a certain way or say something specific. It's always going to be different depending on who I'm talking to. And I shouldn't be surprised about that because, as I said earlier, everybody's uniquely different. Why am I just realizing this now? I have no idea. And again, at the same time, I think the fact that everybody is uniquely different is what makes each individual friendship special. Because if I'm being completely honest with myself, if I cracked a joke with one of my best friends and physically saw his reaction and got that same exact reaction with another friend who I'm not so close to but still close, that would be really weird. So the fact that I don't get the same reaction makes me appreciate each friendship that I have even more because it's simply genuine. It's just an interesting thought to have, to be honest. One more thing I want to share is that I like to call a lot of my friends and just talk about the most random things. And I've also realized that the way that I call some of my friends and talk on the phone for like 1 or 2 hours doesn't necessarily mean I have to do that for every other friend that I have, because I know for a fact that a lot of them don't really have that specific expectation of me, right? Even though they know that I call other friends for that long. So basically what I'm saying is I used to think that if I call a specific friend for a certain amount of time, that I would have to do that with every other friend that I have just to confirm with myself that they're all treated equally, even though they don't have that expectation of me, which now that I think about it is crazy because it's like, why am I torturing myself with that sort of mentality when that's just not how life works, at least when it comes to friends. There's no reason for you to think that way unless people literally have that expectation of you. And if they do, I personally think those aren't people you should be surrounding yourself with. Lesson learned, you can't treat people equally, nor do you ever have to. Just be yourself and surround yourself with good people. So yeah, you guys have a good one. Bye.